Hello and welcome to another episode of the SME Focus Show, brought to you by Factory Now TV. Happy New Year and welcome to 2022. We had a compilation show that went out on New Year's Day. This is our first real live show of 2022, and I'm really excited to introduce you to my guest. I'm your host, Christopher Greeno, and in this series we will focus on SMEs within the British manufacturing sector. Every week we will discuss and analyse the opportunities and challenges facing the industry in these unprecedented times. I've been in the sector for over 28 years and I am CCO at SDE Technology, one of the leading manufacturers of pressings and assemblies in the UK. So hopefully you can appreciate this show is very much for manufacturers by manufacturers. Joining me this week, I'm pleased to introduce my guest, Willian Santos, International Sales Manager at ABI Electronics. Willian, hello and welcome.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining me on the first show. You came on last year and we were really pleased to talk to you. Fantastic company, fantastic guy. So tell us about ABI Electronics and what you do.
Okay, first of all, Happy New Year, Chris. Thanks very much for inviting me to come on the show again. The first of 2022 is it's a great privilege to be back on the show. So ABI Electronics, we design and manufacture especially systems that are used in the maintenance and repair of critical electronics. So our products are used in the maintenance and repair of electronics that you find in airplanes, in rail transport, renewable energy, car production line, for instance. So everything these days are driven by electronic circuit boards. So our products, they are basically, some of the best technologies for this particular application. Our products allow engineers and technicians to identify exactly what is the faulty components, repair and replace just that component, and basically save the entire circuit board. It could be worth, from a few £1,000 to even tens of thousands of pounds, depending on the application. So our products basically are designed and manufactured, 100% manufactured here in the UK, and they are exported all over the world.
And in terms of that carbon reduction, sustainability piece, what you guys are doing is really key now. So instead of replacing the whole component, you can just replace what's needed.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. There's a misconception in the industry that if an electronic circuit board fails, it's a consumable item and it should be replaced if something breaks down. But if you think about it, there are a lot of minerals and metals that go into producing every single board. And these boards, these circuit boards, they are designed to last many years. But sometimes the components on those boards, they get tired and they fail, and they are very inexpensive and readily available. However, if you don't have a system like ours, it's virtually, impossible to find out exactly what went wrong. So we provide the technology that empowers the technicians to find out exactly what happened, replace the component, and eventually understand how what can be done to extend the life, the service life of that circuit board, and keep that going for as long as possible. It saves a lot of money. It's great for the bottom line, but it's great for the environment as well.
Absolutely. And I know yourself and ABI do an awful lot on social media to promote the company, promote the brand. You also do a lot on YouTube, and you've got your own YouTube channel. Do you want to tell us about that?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we created our YouTube channel back in 2014. We're getting close to 500,000 views so far. It's been a great success. It is a platform that we use to communicate with our customers, with our market, to educate and inspire as well new technicians, new generation of repair technicians and engineers. If we are, as a society, really serious about get to net zero, we will need more repair technicians, more repair engineers. So we created a range of educational videos, helping people come and understand, what is available, what technologies are available, and how to make the most out of those type of systems with the views of extending the life of circuit boards and reaching those goals, those sustainability goals as well.
And you're obviously a very positive and enthusiastic person. What drives your energy and enthusiasm? Obviously, the last couple of years have been really tough. What keeps your enthusiasm for the sector?
Well, I'm a passionate, advocate of the UK manufacturing sector. I think there are some, hidden gems here in the UK. I think, like ABI, and I started this journey back in 2015. What we started in 2015 was a movement called Repair, Don't Waste. Okay, so if you Google Repair Don't Waste, you find thousands of references to ABI and our relationship with some of the world's leading organizations that are investing in our systems, in our training, and obviously creating job opportunities as well, and developing those capabilities to repair in-house those electronic systems. But we also felt that there was a need for that movement to be talked about more, and then we obviously decided to take on social media. I took on that role as a social media manager here, let's say, and we started creating content. We started engaging with our contacts and connections, and it's been a great adventure, let's say. We got to meet so many new contacts, and they got to meet us. They got to learn about ABI, learn about our solutions, and our solutions are they are bringing many great results to their businesses. So I think LinkedIn is a great platform for that. It gives an opportunity for us to create engaging content, but it gives the opportunity for us, once someone engages with our content, it gives the opportunity for us to get to know them a bit better, and allow them to get to know us as well, and see whether we can work together.
Absolutely, and it's really driven the business forward. So looking at 2022, looking at the year ahead, what challenges do you see for UK manufacturing?
Well, 2021 was a fantastic year for us, despite all the challenges. We obviously we had issues with staff shortage, but we also eventually then moved on to a component shortage. You have probably heard about the so-called chip shortage, which obviously affects us because we need to import semiconductors from all over the world to make the products here at ABI. So it's been a very challenging year. It has pushed our lead times, from a few weeks to a few months, 3-4 months. But despite all of that, and despite obviously a pandemic that is still affecting us, the business has grown tremendously, and our order book for the second half of last year doubled compared to the historical average for that period of the year. And 2020, as you recall, me coming here on the show and saying it was already a record-breaking year as far as sales is concerned. So we are in a very privileged position, compared to some other organizations, but we are still obviously feeling the pinch. And I think one of the biggest challenges at the moment has got to be skill shortage, as well as obviously supply chain issues. But I think the most pressing issue at the moment is having access to skilled to talents. And we have been recruiting here for our technical engineering, technical sales team, recruiting sales administrators, and lots of have different roles here that we're trying to fill in. And we've been actively recruiting for the last several months, but it's been very, very difficult to find people that are available to come and work here. So, and obviously by, discussing with contacts on LinkedIn, we can feel that the situation is pretty much across the board. So I think that's the biggest challenge. Obviously, there will be opportunities as well.
Yeah. So go on to the opportunities then. So what do you see the biggest opportunities to make UK manufacturing great this year?
I think there needs to be realization that the world has changed. Yeah, over the last few years, we need to realize that the landscape is different, and the move towards a more sustainable manufacturing is real, and it is here to stay for the next decades. So I think we definitely need to embrace that. And a discussion that I normally see on social media about some MDs and managers, they come and say, I don't like the word sustainability. I don't want to talk about sustainability because we have been implementing some of these practices that others are shouting out about. We have been implementing this practice for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But I think this is the point that people need to understand here, and this is something that I try to do when I create the posts that you see on LinkedIn, on Twitter. We are also trying to inspire other organizations here in the UK to go and do the same. I think it's important to be bold about who we are, what we do, the products that we make, and if you are doing something right, shout out about it, because it's not because you are being efficient and working already in a very efficient manner that this efficiency, for instance, it could be producing some great results as far as the net zero is concerned. So it's aligned with what the market is expecting. So you need to come and talk about it. So we discuss this with our customers. If you are repairing circuit boards instead of throwing them away and adding to the 60 million tons of e-waste that the world produces globally, well, go on social media and talk about it.
Yeah.
And we have seen some companies doing that, and they reap the results from being bold and saying, look, we are reducing, we are reusing, we are being inefficient, yes, but we also making the most with the resources that we have.
Absolutely. So it's about changing the use of social media, not just into a selling tool, but actually a telling tool, which tells people what your green credentials are, how you're reducing carbon, how you're becoming more sustainable. And it's now that customers are buying into that sustainability. So it's not just a case of doing it for yourself anymore. You're doing it because the customers now expect it.
Absolutely. We had there's this big multinational company working in the elevator sector, and they came to us and they asked whether they could add into their corporate presentation our logo, the Repair Don't Waste, talk about the Repair Don't Waste movement in their corporate presentation. We said, obviously, and here are some slides. So we provided some slides, and they were having this international meeting, updating shareholders and so on, and that was, the information was there about the lab that they created first in Mexico and now in Brazil to repair and recover circuit boards that are used in elevators. And it's a great thing. It's a good thing. And I think more people should be talking about that on social media.
Absolutely. So this is from Willian and ABI leading the way and actually creating social media that people want to use, and also creating product that people want to use, and saving carbon and being more sustainable.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I think that sums up pretty well. Chris, thank you.
William, thank you for being the first guest on the show this year. I think we'll have you back and be the first guest on the show every year. Your enthusiasm is really great. Carry on and have a great year, and we'll catch up soon.
Okay, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you, Chris, and everyone at STE. And talk to you later. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, William.
Cheers.
That brings us to the end of another show. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to meeting more of our brilliant SME manufacturers like Willian next week. If you would like to get in touch with the show with a comment, a suggestion, or even to appear on a future episode, please email us tv@mcd.media. So from me, thank you for watching. Chris G at SDE. Goodbye.